So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 of the biggest dieting mistakes people make without realizing it. And one of those mistakes is setting unrealistic goals. Unfortunately, still over 30% of American adults and 20% of adolescents are considered obese. So despite the fact that the dieting industry is a billion-dollar business, something is going wrong. It's understandable that people would be enticed by the promises of 4 to 5 pounds of weight loss a week. A lot of the weight loss regimens that promise that also can have involved with their plan very restricted calorie intake and oftentimes an elimination of one of the macronutrients, and it's coupled usually with a lot of deprivation. Statistics show that if one's losing weight at that rapid pace and their calorie restriction is so low, 50% of what you lose is fat and 50% of that loss is muscle tissue. And muscle tissue is what we consider our fat-burning machinery. So if that decreases, the chances of you gaining that weight back even quicker than you lost it are pretty high. A better approach would be to follow a regimen that offers 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss a week, and that's revolving around a balanced nutrition plan so that it's something that you can live with while you're losing and when you maintain with just a few adjustments, so the transition will be nice and smooth. So another dieting mistake I find people make without really realizing it is being what I call loosey-goosey with your tracking. Or in other words, being inconsistent with your food journaling. Number one, a lot of people actually don't even keep a food journal, which is not the best approach when you're trying to lose weight. Statistics even show that those who keep a food journal are much more successful at losing and maintaining their weight. So that's the first thing, keep a food journal. But even for those that do keep the journal, what I find is a lot of them will keep track for a couple of days, particularly the days that they feel like they're doing well and being good. And then when they're messing up a little bit, slipping, they don't keep the journal. So it's easy to lose track of what you're consuming. Another thing that I find people do when they're trying to lose weight is they're, again, loosey-goosey with their tracking, where they won't count everything that they consume. They'll be picking a little bit at the office, a couple nuts. It could be healthy food, but still, calories are calories, right? So they might pick a couple of nuts, a couple Hershey's Kisses here and there. And one of the biggest mistakes I find a lot of women, particularly mothers, obviously are making, it could be dads too, is cleaning their kids' plates. Those extra spoonfuls of Johnny's macaroni and cheese or an extra fish stick that he didn't finish is going into their body and they're not counting it. So I'd highly advise parents, stop using your body as a garbage can, and of course you don't want to waste that food, pack it up for a little snack later for Johnny or yourself, but make sure you count everything that you consume. The third mistake I find people are making unintentionally when it comes to losing weight is putting too much emphasis on exercise and not enough on nutrition. A perfect example of that is every January 1st. What do we hear and see? Everyone's New Year's resolution is losing weight, and they swarm to the gyms or their fitness center and the places are packed. But then maybe 4 or 6 weeks later, they're empty again, because people are putting too much emphasis on exercise, hoping that if they go every morning 4 or 5 times a week, they'll start to see that loss. But unfortunately, that's just a portion of what's necessary to lose weight efficiently. Actually, nutrition is 70 to 80% of the process. As important as exercise is in assisting you in weight loss, what's more important to start off is how you're fueling your body. It's very important to determine how many calories you should be eating. An efficient way to determine how many calories you need for loss is to have your RMR, or resting metabolic rate, checked. Now this is something that can be done at a studio, for example, like mine at Living Proof Nutrition Fitness, where we use the metabolic rate machine, and it's literally a 10-minute breathing test where we can determine what your actual RMR is. But if you don't have access to that kind of service, an alternate way of determining your calorie needs for loss is to take your goal weight and times it by 10. So for example, if your goal is 125 times 10, you should be eating around 1250, 1300 calories for loss. Say your goal is 150 times 10, you should be eating 1,500 calories to lose. Great if you're focusing on taking some kickboxing classes, or other martial arts or other types of exercises, workouts, but make sure you focus on your nutrition plan as well. And for more information on weight loss methods, you can go to www.livingproofnyc.com.